Hello, I'm Taylor, and welcome back to the We Aim to Slay self-care series. Before I introduce tonight's guest, I want to start by thanking everybody because before I even knew it, we passed the 1 year mark of the self-care series. I know, crazy. It started in September of 2024 and now it is October 2025. So thank you for everyone who's tuned in. For those of you who have appeared as guests, extra thank you to you guys. And if you want to see any of the previous episodes, you can just head over to the We Aim to Slay YouTube channel. You can just open YouTube and search We Aim to Slay. It should pop up. And there is a whole playlist just for the self-care series, so you can learn some tips and tricks from all of the amazing women I've been talking to over the last year. Also, speaking of the We Aim to Slay YouTube channel, excuse me, because it's October, I've been doing this series of Halloween makeup looks. The first video went out 2 weeks ago. That was my glam grunge pirate look. My next video is going up this week on Friday, so keep your eyes peeled. I don't want to spoil what it is yet, but if you figure it out or you have a guess, leave it in the comments. I can't wait to hear what you think. Okay, enough of me talking. I am going to send this invite link over to our guest because tonight's guest is really an incredible woman. And to be honest, I've never met her before. It's so this will be exciting to one, speak with her, and two, to learn so much more about not only what she's doing, but how she's making a real impact in her community, which is like really impressive. And also the whole point of the self-care series. We're here to hear, LOL. We're here to hear about people's stories and how they're choosing to find that balance between making the world around them a better place and making their world the best place it can be. And finding that balance is difficult. I struggle with it. We all do, you know? And of course, every day is different. Some days are easier than others. I myself have been looking for extra sources of self-care recently because it's difficult out here, folks. It certainly is. Okay, so I have sent the invite link. She still has a few minutes before it's time because, as always, I jump on here so early. But yeah, okay, so just sort of more like housekeeping things. Specifically on the self-care series. So obviously it's almost the end of the year. There are two more pre-set up guests for the 2025 season. Don't know why that was hard to say. And as I move into 2026 and however far into the future this goes, I'm going to be opening an application process. So I'm not exactly sure when that'll be going live or how that's going to look, but whether you're a pageant person or not, if you're a person who values taking care of themselves in one way or another and you'd like to share how you do that, I'd like to hear from you. And I'm sure other people would also. So I will obviously, advertise that once that's available, but there will be an application process. And I will definitely post that through the Linktree. And if you don't have Linktree or you've never heard of Linktree, you can find that link in all of my bios. And I'm so sorry that I had to say it like that. If you do have Linktree, I think you can just search for me at We Aim to Slay. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, if you go to the internet and in the URL bar, you type link, linktr.ee/we aim to slay, it will come up. And basically that is just like a hub of all of the relevant and important links going on with We Aim to Slay. You can get directly to the blog, you can get to the Instagram, you can get to the YouTube, you can get to specific videos or posts that are more recent. You can go directly to my Venable, which is a website kind of like Pinterest, but it's shoppable. So look out for that. If you're interested in what products I swear by or that I use consistently or that are always in my purse, check out my Venable list. And I should be able to share that. I'll put all the links in the description that I'm talking about.
Hello,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. So just so you know, it's already recording, but there is a way for me to like make some edits before I make this live. So feel free to speak freely. And I am outside, so I apologize in advance if there's like weird noises. All right.
How are
So
you?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. It's
Wonderful.
good to finally see you.
Yes, you as well. I know after like basically a year of messaging back and forth, it's nice to finally officially meet you.
Yeah.
So I had started recording and I did a little bit of introducing the episode basically, but I have not introduced you because I like to let guests introduce themselves. So if you want to take a moment to introduce yourself, maybe give some interesting tidbits that you'd like to share.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Samiha Islam. I graduated with mechanical engineering. I'm a first generation college student. We immigrated here when I was about 2 years old. So I am an immigrant. That I am a U.S. citizen now. Yeah, I feel like I want to tell you everything, but I can't. But I'm pretty sure the intros got to it. I overall, the one message that I would want anyone to take away is that create good leaders in the world and create good people. I am pregnant with my first child, expecting this month, and
Congratulations.
the biggest thank you, and the biggest advice is I want to make sure that my son or daughter is a good leader. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talked about that idea creating good leaders.
Mhm.
You kind of describe what it means to you to be a leader.
I think being a good leader means that you are selfless, you understand the situation at hand, and you are like the key person that everyone is going to look at for a decision to be made. There will be multiple decisions. I'm so glad I did engineering because early on I learned to do decision matrices. So I use that tool every day of my life. Do the pros and cons, give point systems, and kind of just see, but also use your gut. Like knowing, I feel like a good leader has a really good gut instinct and they know how to make a whole, full body decision. And it's something that benefits people years on, not just at the moment. So long term thinking, long term visions.
Yeah, absolutely. What are some of your long-term visions? Like, what is your goal for your impact, I suppose? Like, how do you want to be remembered as a leader?
I would like to be remembered in a way where it doesn't matter what gender you are, it doesn't matter what race you are. Kind of just, I want to be remembered for being pretty universal, because I think I'm a pretty universal person. The first time I like met my husband, like our first dates, we called each other like aliens. Like we're looking for like our extraterrestrial alien. I think it also comes from our passion for space. Um, it's that we can all be so different, but at the end of the day, we all have a heart and we all have love, and we want to make sure everything that we do is to help others, not to hurt others.
Yeah.
Um, One more thing I'll add is like a fun fact. My name is Samiha, and in Arabic it means kind and generous. So my parents definitely drilled that into me from like day one. So that's what I lead with.
I love that. And I'm sure that carries over into your philanthropic work. I'd love to hear more about the nonprofit you started.
The nonprofit that we started, New Yorkers for Bangladeshi Mutual Aid, we're actually working on making it shorter now to Bangladeshi Mutual Aid, because as our team grows, we have 5 directors now, It started off with just four of us individuals. It went on to like a group of like 30 volunteers, 30 to 40 volunteers in Buffalo, New York. And then that was when it was COVID time, and it was like a COVID initiative. It wasn't a nonprofit. We didn't know it was going to become a nonprofit. We were just like, hey, we are a group of people that really like to work together in our community, and let's make an impact, because there's a lot of like mistranslations happening and miscommunication, and kind of people don't know what kind of information to filter for. Like, let's take the actual facts, translate them, and make sure that all our incoming Bengali immigrant families are listening to the right information and getting that and getting the resources, because sometimes the resources are out there, but people don't know they're out there. So joining those two together, or being the middleman that directly goes and brings it to them, because during COVID, not a lot of people were going outside.
Mm.
So we started off with just it being about COVID. And the target audience was moms, because a lot of the husbands were, passing away, like the breadwinners in the family. So something about Bengali culture is usually you have the breadwinner be the man of the family or the son. And if they pass away, the woman doesn't usually have a good educational background. They usually don't know how to speak English. Most of them don't have driver's licenses. Times are changing. In bigger cities, you'll definitely see women breaking out of the shell. But overall, it's like, what do they do? And to help educate them was a key component of that initiative. And when we, when COVID was slowly simmering down, because I can't say it died, it never died. We have COVID now. um, we're like, okay, we were able to do this, guys. What do we do next? Like, we still want to continue this, because during COVID, we started a community fridge where, especially during our holidays, where meat is a big variable in storing meat and getting meat, and the blessing that meat brings, was a thing. We're like, how do we do this? So we would fill up the community fridge, and people would take whoever was in need or needed, anyone who was in need would know the location and where to get it. Um, let's see. Fast forward like a year later, so 2020 to 2021 was kind of very COVID centric. 2022 to 2020, mid 2024, it was more so, how do we establish ourselves as a nonprofit? Who do we reach out to? What are our goals? How do we change our mission? And now that we have like five brilliant directors sitting in one room, we want to hit off education. We want to hit off technology. We want to hit off making sure that people have access to ESL courses and how to pass the citizenship exam.
Mm.
Because more than anything, like, Bengali people are known to be really hard workers, and we want to be good citizens. So how do we do that? How do we help them get those resources so they can fulfill their time here? And these are all workshops. We do workshop based classes, courses. Now, because of the in-person setting, it's easier to get our word out there. It's easier to go and meet up with people. Because COVID brought about this online world of things,
Mhm.
I think we're making more impact now that we're able to tend to these people in person. Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds as though, yes, the resources that you're providing are 100% necessary and people really appreciated them. But it feels like it was the community aspect that
Mm-hmm.
people, and I'm sure everybody felt that during COVID. We all missed being able to even see our friends and our family, let
Mm-hmm.
alone going to those places or those spaces of like-minded people to do like-minded activities. So it's awesome that you
Exactly.
guys are like really helping to not only bridge that gap, to bring that community back so that people are able to get important information, but so that it, I don't know how to word it. It's like you're humanizing the process by not
Yes.
only bringing it to like right to the people, but also being like, hey, there are all these other people that are also trying to do exactly what you're trying to do. You're not alone, and we're all here
Yes.
to help you, whether it's by actually bringing information forward or just by being a support with a common goal.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. I love that you use the word humanizing. As a STEM girly, an engineer, like the biggest fear is the dehumanization of humans, of the communities, of like processes in general. I've worked in manufacturing for 7 years, and I can't even begin to explain to you how dehumanizing it gets, on the factory floors, on the production floors. Like everything is tack time. How do we make our humans more efficient? How do we get more work out of them? And it kills me, like,
Yeah,
because yes, logic is everything, but at the same time, when you are somebody that cares so much about the human race, it becomes demoralizing. One of the biggest mindset shifts that I had, I like to call them mindset shifts. My platform during Miss Earth was creating sustainable
hmm,
uh, mindset shift. And I was working for Lockheed Martin at the time, and I had helped design like the crew plan, the build for the F-16. And to see these fighter jets years later, being used in ways that are hurting people with similar backgrounds to me,
yeah,
it it's terrifying. It doesn't feel good. But at the same time, you're like, oh, look, like I helped to make that.
yeah.
But at the and to be able to understand the work that you're putting in and what it's going towards, I think is very crucial, and a very crucial takeaway for anybody. Is the work that you're doing fulfilling your values?
Hmm.
And I think that's how, and doing that check with yourself is what helps you continue to be human.
Yeah, for sure. And just sort of to piggyback off that idea, I think it's equally important to have some grace for yourself because
Yes.
it is a process. We are all learning, whether we're learning how to check in with ourselves or
Hmm.
learning how we fit into this world, into our own
Hmm.
lives. So I know I
Yeah,
have to remind myself constantly like mistakes happen and that's human.
absolutely.
The goal is now to learn from it and try not
Hmm.
to make the same mistake.
Hmm. Exactly. I think like life is all trial and error, and we're human. We're meant to fail.
Mhm.
Religion is a big thing for me. I love studying religions, and the whole concept of the fact that we're human and we were created to fail, to make mistakes. But our story is, how do we move on from that? How do we grow from there? Right? And because if we want to stay in the loop, in the cycle, we can. But when do we decide to break out of that cycle, right? And if we do, I think that's what will give you that next page to your story.
Yeah. And that's what makes us so uniquely human, that we
Yeah.
have the ability to recognize those patterns, those cycles,
Hmm.
and decide, like, no, I don't want to do this anymore.
Hmm.
I want to try something new. And it
Yeah.
is never too late to try something new, whether you're picking up a new hobby or sport or whatever, you know.
Hmm.
You should try as many things as you're able to. I believe that at least.
I 100% agree with that. I know one thing in the industries now is like the whole idea of ageism.
Yeah.
I don't, if anybody says, "Oh, I can't do this because of my age," instantly I'm just like, in the least harshest way, is like, you're wrong. Like,
Yes.
yeah, it's just like, no, that's a limiting belief. Get rid of that limiting belief. Um, and I'm seeing that even with like my pregnancy. that's something I've learned is I have so many friends, acquaintances, colleagues, they're all pregnant around the same time as me. And it's so exciting. I'm just like, wow, how did this happen? Like cousins, relatives, like, and to see everyone and where they are at their pregnancy and who's taking in what words other people are feeding them is affecting them. So if you're in a culture where they're telling you, nope, you can't do anything, sit back, they're going to believe that. I gotta sit back. And they do the same thing to the elderly, where they're just like, hey, you can't do things as much as you can anymore. And of course, we need to take precautions, depending on our age. We have to be a little more careful, but doesn't mean that you can't do it. My father-in-law is getting his PhD now, and he's like about to hit 60. Like,
Yeah,
it's,
yeah. You're only ever as old as you feel.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that changes from day to day. First thing in the morning when I've slept on the wrong pillow and I can't move my neck, I feel a lot older than I am.
Yeah. Yeah, it starts off with your morning. It definitely starts off. I think everything starts off with your morning.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Yeah.
what are some of your morning and or self-care practices or habits, and have they changed throughout your pregnancy and throughout your
Mhm.
life?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to start off with what you use, the term of giving ourselves grace.
Hmm.
Yeah, definitely giving ourselves grace. That's something I've had to relearn this year. But a habit that I start off my morning with that's kind of built on the idea of habit stacking. It starts with like my diet. I'm very big on eating 2 eggs every single morning, like no matter where I am on the planet. It is it is so crucial to me. I almost hold it like religion. There have been so many times that I have gotten frustrated or irritated if I didn't get my 2 eggs, but it's because if somebody hands you a granola bar and you're choosing between eating your protein of the day versus a very sugar-filled granola bar, that is going to follow you throughout the rest of your day.
Hmm.
That initial like insulin spike, that will cause you to make more decisions that are more sugar filled. That's only going to harm you throughout the rest of the day. Of course, we're human. We could tell ourselves to stop. It's going to be a lot harder. So that's why I'm very keen on the 2 eggs every morning. Starting my day off with gratitude, whether it's prayer or journaling, making sure to list out, wow, like it's a beautiful morning. It's a new day. I've been given another day to like live and breathe. Um, and once you start going into the practice of gratitude, there are things you never thought that you would say, I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah.
It's countless because it's hard because you're like, yeah, I'm thankful for my family, my pets, my like that new car I got or that new dress I bought. um, but it's so much deeper than that. Like to even thank God that I have a nose that can breathe or eyes that can see is
Mm.
it takes it to the next level. So I would say definitely my mornings is when I get to practice those uh, those self-care routines, those check-ins. Another thing I have set on my phone is I have 5 energy check-ins throughout the day scheduled in my calendar. It's like 5-minute reminders where it's how am I feeling right now.
Mm.
Um, Even if it pops up and I want to and I just click it away, the question still, I'm ADD, so it'll stay in the back of my head, and until I address it, I can't close that tab out. So it's a reminder to address that question. How am I feeling? And that feeling goes with my heart rate.
Hmm.
Why am I feeling like this? But it's not to make you go deep into the abyss with that question. It's just, hey, I think my heart rate's a little high right now. I wonder why. Maybe I shouldn't drink any more coffee, or maybe I should go for a walk, or maybe I should do a little stretch. But definitely those 5 check-ins throughout the day.
I love that. And do you ever, like you were just saying, like maybe I should go for a walk, maybe I should do like, what do you do if you're like out in the world about your day, that check-in comes in,
Mhm.
you realize like, yeah, no, actually I think I do need to take a few minutes like for myself. How do you
Mhm.
at work in your day to day?
Something for like on the go stuff. I think because of how my last job was, my role, I was a business analyst, a global business analyst, and so we had to travel a lot, and I was always on the go. Like every 2 weeks, I'd be traveling. Every 2 weeks, I'd be on a plane, and it was very go go go. But the time periods where maybe you're sitting waiting for your plane to come, or if you're in a car driving somewhere, what you're playing, what you're hearing, what you're listening to. Those are the times that I would take to do like either some affirmations or listen to a prayer or do a quick reading or a little bit of journaling. In a car, definitely my two go-tos is visualizing a prayer.
Hmm.
Um, I As a Muslim, I've been taught since young age to make sure I do my 5 prayers of the day. So if I'm on the road, I've learned to visualize praying even when I'm driving, and that's helped me a lot. It helps calm me down. It helps me get connected again
Hmm.
to source. And but even a song, if you know there's a song that empowers you or makes you feel good, you can play that song. And if you don't have access to that, memorize that song, sing that song, like affirm yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. And I love that you said it like that. Affirm yourself. Because I feel like you're exactly right. In so many instances, and for so many people, we are looking for that outside source of affirmation or confirmation, validation for whatever
Mm-hmm.
reason. And whether we even realize it or not, for something small like likes on a photo on Instagram or something big,
Mm-hmm.
surrounding yourself with people who maybe aren't the right people for you because at least someone's there. And that
Mm-hmm.
idea that we need these outside sources when our strength to survive is within us.
Yes, I do. I do agree with that 100%. Everything is within you. Like it starts with the first affirmation. It's I am,
Mm.
and everything starts off with I am. So if it's coming from I am, it's coming from within you. So
Yeah,
it's,
absolutely.
yeah. I don't know if that sounds too deep and crazy, but
No, I think it makes perfect sense. And like, I feel like it goes perfectly with what you're saying about like shifting your mindset. It
hmm
has to start from I am.
yeah.
And not start from them or you or her or him or whoever.
Yeah, no.
It's to start from within, and that's like the foundations. That's the building blocks. That's the waking up and realizing like, no, this cycle needs to
hmm
change.
hmm Yeah. The opposite of that, when you are, I guess, trying to help somebody else learn, because where I learned the I am and it hit me the hardest was when I read a quote from Rumi, a Sufi poet, and it is you are the universe in ecstatic motion. And I have taken that with me for when did I read that quote? I read it multiple times in college, but it wasn't until probably like my junior year of college where I was just like, you are the universe in ecstatic motion. And but I didn't accept it until maybe like until I went to China in 2023. And I don't know what changed, but I think it was the possibility that, wow, I am living my dream life at that time,
Mhm.
where it was my company is literally sending me around the world to make a difference, to set up electric vehicle battery plants. And I was like, I'm literally living the life that I asked for years ago. And that's when I was truly able to accept hearing the you are, the you are, the you are, and switch that entire quote for myself to I am the universe in ecstatic motion.
I love
Yeah.
that. That's amazing. And you're right. I feel like there is always like a moment. There's like a catalyst where you start
Mm-hmm.
and realize like, oh wait, I'm actually doing the thing I always thought I wanted to do. It's just like
Yeah.
it doesn't look like that from the inside.
Yeah.
I feel like this year was like one of those weird like roller coasters for me where like I started off the first half of the year like really, really strong. And then there's like a weird sort of like turning point in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Things like kind of fell apart a little bit, but slowly making its way back up. And then like in that making its way back up process, I'm always really hard on myself. Like no matter what is going
Mm-hmm.
on, I have just like a lot of really negative things to say to myself about my process.
Mm-hmm.
Or I actually need it, or in some sort of sick, twisted way, I have found it to become like the motivation I just like require. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I probably need to work on that. But it took me like weeks of just feeling like I was completely failing at everything before I was talking to my mom actually, and she was like,
Mm-hmm.
you're not failing. Like, can you take a step back and actually think about what you've done this year alone, let alone
Yeah.
I just turned 30 last month. It's like, okay, that's crazy. Coming face to face with coming into a new decade was weird, but also how much I've actually accomplished,
Mm-hmm.
done in that time period. It's like, I'm not failing at anything. I'm just being
Yeah.
mean to myself. Like,
Yeah.
I just feel like I don't know. I talk about this with my mom and like some of my friends. The idea that there's, especially in American society, there are these markers,
Mm-hmm.
certain ages you should have hit. And when you either haven't hit them or it's you're not at that age, there's just this weird shame about it. Like I just turned 30.
Mm-hmm.
I am now in the process of getting divorced, which is like not great, but better to, both have a chance to be truly happy than to hold each other down for the rest of our
Mm-hmm.
lives. But like turning 30 and I'm watching like a lot of my friends are having children with their spouses or they're getting married. And it's like, okay, this feels like I'm doing something wrong. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not like this is just what my life is. It's just what the
Yeah.
situation is. But it's just again, it's that idea of looking for the outside comparison, the validation, the like, yeah, if everybody else is doing it, I should be doing it too. And that's not always the case.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always what works best for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Much as like we had wanted to have children, like I think about where our lives ended up, and I'm kind of glad we didn't, because that wouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
to that small person and giving them their best chance at a successful life.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting how things just always everything happens for a reason, right? That's that truth.
Yes. Yeah.
And I believe that 100%. Like there's a
Yes.
rhyme and a reason.
Yep. Everything definitely happens for a reason. I congratulations on be turning 30
Thank you.
because I just turned 32 in
Happy
June.
birthday.
So happy birthday. Yes, happy belated birthday. My condolences on you going through your divorce, but
Do that.
also there are people throwing divorce parties. So I don't think I could say condolences anymore. I think it's kind of like I'm happy for you for making a decision, period.
Yeah, it's weird. And I feel like I go back and forth on this all the time. On the one hand, I'm like super sad and disappointed because at the time when we made these decisions, we really thought that
Mhm.
we were making our forever decisions. And we were like
Yeah,
gung ho about making that decision.
yeah.
And so that aspect bums me out. But then when I think about how actually toxic we were to each other in different
Mhm.
ways at different times and to different degrees. We
Yeah,
were miserable. And like, why did the fear of being alone and possibly happier keep us miserable and essentially trapped?
yeah.
We weren't, yeah, I don't, it's like crazy. It seems so silly, but it also seems like so devastating all at the same time. It's just weird. All right. So, yeah, like I said, I have a tendency to ramble because I just took us off on such a crazy tangent. But we were talking about the idea that it all comes from the self
Hmm.
and starts with I am. So, how has your process of coming to the I am sort of changed your perspective, either in your community service or in your self care or even in your day to day life?
Hmm. I think the I am has strengthened my belief in what I am actually good at versus things I might need help or support in.
Mhm.
And something I used to do in any leadership role I've ever held is try and do everything and micromanage, and because the anxiety would just make me be like, no, everything has to be perfect. But I think the I am has really shown me, hey, I'm good at this, and I'm going to trust whoever's good at that to do that because they are good at that. And that's a part of being a good leader, is to make sure that you are motivating and telling the people that you're working with, your colleagues, your teammates, your fellow directors, like, you're really good at this, and affirming them and making them feel good and confident, because some people are good at a lot of things, but sometimes they have limiting beliefs. So to take the I am affirmation and share that forward, that energy forward, I think is really big.
Yeah. And I feel like that goes right back to the idea of community because when everybody within a given environment is able to perform at their highest potential because they feel supported, they feel valued,
Exactly.
they give so much more. That's so funny. So I work at a high
Yes,
school.
exactly.
I'm
They
a
feel seen. They
yes.
feel seen.
I work at a high school. I'm a para educator, and I kid you not, like during our back to school for the staff week, which is like the week before the kids come back, we had a
Hmm.
public speaker come and say these exact concepts to us. And like one of the things that he brought up, and we all kind of like made a joke about it at first, but then we actually thought about it more. The idea of when you're checking in with someone and making sure that they feel valued or feel seen. There's two
Hmm.
questions. How are you doing?
Hmm.
How are you feeling?
Hmm.
Those are
Yep.
two very different questions. That's like what you were saying when you do your 5 minute check-ins. And like
Yeah. How am I feeling?
you need a how am I feeling debrief.
Hmm.
Sometimes you just need a how am I doing? Oh, I'm good. I'll see you later kind of check-in.
Yeah.
You should never ask someone how you are feeling if you are expecting a how are you doing answer. You've got to be
Hmm.
ready to be the person that's listening for when
Hmm.
that person is like, you know what, actually, I do need a shoulder to cry on. I need someone to hear what is going on because I can't hear
Yeah.
it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And being able to like really support each other within a given environment so that you're
Hmm.
actually able to be successful.
Yep. Yeah. And something that I've also talked to my husband about is the idea of this. I don't know, this might sound the very high debate of where, in a society where we're all listening to each other, and we are kind, and we are doing these check-ins and letting everyone play to their strength, you wouldn't need therapists, because you would all constantly be listening to each other and feeling heard.
That's true.
And I go to therapy, we do couples therapy, big advocate for therapy in the world and society we live in. But if we all actually just listen to each other, it could take, what is it that they say? They say that you just need, is it a 7 or 17 minute phone call? So if you have a friend or yourself who's having very dark thoughts, and you're taking yourself down to the point where you're thinking of, you know, even suicidal thoughts, a seven is, it's either a 7 or 17. I have to fact check.
7. That sounds right.
Seven.
Again, like we should
Call.
check that. Yeah.
You make that call to a friend, and within that short amount of time, it can change everything.
Yeah.
Everything. that decision you make is way less likely to happen. You can get out of that spiral. So making sure you have that support system that reminds you who you are is so crucial.
Yeah. Or even, because there are times where maybe our support system isn't available to us because at the end of
Hmm.
the day, we are all individuals. We do have lives. I feel like part of that is being able to recognize, like, I need to change where I am, like physically where I am, whether I'm like
Hmm. Physically, yes.
in my room having these
Hmm.
thoughts, whether I am at work hiding out in the bathroom hiding having these thoughts, or sitting
Yes.
in my car, in a parking lot having these thoughts. Having
Yeah.
a little bit of a change of environment, your senses have something new to take in, and that changes
Hmm.
a little bit of your brain chemistry right off the
Yeah.
like for me, I know that and I haven't done it as much recently because I have not given myself the time to do it. When I'm having any sort of negative thoughts, I like to go for a run. That is my preferred way to work through what is going on in my head because I know if
Hmm.
I exhaust the body, the mind is next to follow. And if I
Hmm.
calm down what's going on in my with my heart racing, like you were saying, I can calm down my thoughts and then I can begin to piece through them. And I know it always sounds a little wacky. While I'm out for a run, I'm going to start talking through those things out loud to myself because
Hmm.
hearing something through your ears is 110 times different than having that same thought circling in your mind.
Hmm.
And that,
Yeah, just getting the thought out there
ah,
is it takes so much energy when you are in an anxious state of mind. Just I know I get like a frog in my throat type feeling, which is why I prefer to journal
mhm,
or text. When I am the most anxious is when I can't make that phone call. So that's when I'll text or I'll write because uh my throat just gets stuck. But if you are able to, talk it out, that is incredible. Either way, it's going to take that energy though. I think a lot of the times where people get stuck is not pushing themselves to just make that one push. How do I get this out of me?
yeah. And it
Yeah.
really is as simple as grabbing a pen, writing it down, putting it into your phone. If you're able to verbalize it, talking it into your phone. I have a dog, and that poor child, that poor dog has heard more of my problems in the last year.
Aw, that's
But
your
like
best friend.
exactly, when I need a snuggle, he's there. If you have stuffed
What's his name?
his name's Dante. He's actually over
Dante.
for me to be inside because we're like not playing. And I'm like, dude,
Aw.
you just gotta wait a minute. We're almost done.
Yeah, I think pets are precious. I think I think you can learn a lot from just your pets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I got my dog like maybe 6 months before my husband and I separated. And if I didn't have him for the rest of that time that we were going through
Hmm.
that, I would have been lost because that dog literally motivated me to get out of bed every morning.
Yeah, it's like a have to, and then it becomes a I want to, and then it becomes I love you so much, I'm just going to.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I
I
love.
guess I did not know how to just use the same link and started it.
Yeah, I tried. It said invalid though.
Yeah, I don't use Zoom often enough to actually know the ins and outs, and I've got to practice. Out during COVID that I didn't have to deal with Zoom.
Hmm.
So,
Zoom has a lot of great features for sure, but I think with every product having like the membership makes that difference.
it's 100%. Uh, I've just
It's a tease.
well, thing is right. There's exactly what
Everything's a
you say.
tease.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like what is it? Like CapCut is such a tease unless you get like the full thing. I'm assuming you would understand that because
When
you
I just got on TikTok last year,
Oh, okay.
just or maybe the year before. It's like not been a long time. I was one of those
Mhm.
crazy old people during the pandemic that was like TikTok's ruining society. I don't know
Oh,
why. I have no idea why, because now I'm like, oh, TikTok's amazing. And like, I'm obsessed with TikTok. I don't know why I was so,
pretty obsessed with TikTok. It just feels so peaceful to post on TikTok more than any other platform for me.
yes, it does. It
I
feels
need I need an outlet. Like if you are creating, I think you all definitely need like a trial run or like an outlet. TikTok is that for me.
like,
Everything that I don't want to post anywhere else will be on TikTok.
see, and I used to view like my Snapchat as that platform because like just like
Mm,
share my Snapchat with everybody. So if you were on my,
yeah.
you're like someone who it's okay if you see what I'm thinking when maybe not everybody should know this. But I
Yeah.
found that like some of my Snapchats actually are really, really funny and they're
Yeah.
well on TikTok. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So I'm like kind of going through like my old Snapchat archive and I'm like, this is still relevant enough to post when
Yeah, you should just like download them and post them on TikTok.
yeah, I'm doing it piece by piece. But like, oh my God, at the beginning of the year, was that I can't believe that was only this year. When the TikTok ban happened and we couldn't have access to CapCut. That in particular, so
Mm.
I edit all my YouTube footage on
Hmm.
CapCut on my phone. And when I was
Oh, okay.
locked out of CapCut, I know it was for what, like 2.5 days, not even, it
Yeah.
was a day and a half. I I about had a panic attack. Like I didn't care about not being able to get on TikTok. I was like, that sucks. But
Yeah.
anything that's on TikTok makes its way to Instagram anyway. I'll find
Mm.
it eventually later.
Yep.
But when I couldn't, I like was like locked out of footage to like things. I was like, oh my God, like I have a video going live at the end of the week and I can't even touch the raw footage.
Oh,
That was really stressful.
yeah, I'm definitely like that as well. For me, it's when my phone runs out of storage, and the biggest amount of storage is my CapCut
Yeah.
because of all the edits and the drafts that I have. But when you pay for like, I think like the highest level of membership, you get to do it from your computer and laptop. So I've been trying to get into the habit of not using my phone for everything, but I literally use my phone for everything.
There's honestly like I
It's so convenient.
spoken me out. I just had to get a new phone because I hit the storage wall. And like you're saying, CapCut was the biggest culprit. And I got
Hmm.
to the point where I had already deleted most apps off of my phone. I had like CapCut because I was too afraid to delete it, TikTok because I was too afraid to delete it,
Uh-huh.
Instagram because that's like the hub. I don't need to have any other Insta Meta run apps. If I can have Instagram, I can share that
Instagram, yeah.
there. And then when I went into the store to like talk to the guy about getting a new phone, how I need more storage, he was like, "Can I take a look at like your storage usage?" I was like, "Yeah, for sure. Like if you've got some sort of like magic secret, like please tell me." And he was like, "Oh, well, CapCut, that's your problem." And I was like, "Okay, remember when I told you that I'm a content creator?
Hmm.
I'm not parting with CapCut." And like I have
Yeah.
a phone that supports CapCut. That is
Yeah.
or like
Yeah, I really
even better.
feel like Instagram alone, like Meta, needs to have a Meta phone for content creators because I'm already paying for Google Drive for the annual subscription. For the cloud,
Yep.
they force you to at least get that 299 cloud membership just to back up
Oh,
your
but I still pay
content.
for like the $12 iCloud and the $12 Google one because I'm like, I need, if I can't get the footage from my phone
Hmm.
like to where I need it, then it's like I'm not a content creator if I can't
Yeah.
get the content.
Right, right. And like you don't want to delete, you have such good content sometimes that you don't want to delete off your phone. So my most recent solution that I've been it's kind of work, but it depends how you are with it, is carrying around like a little drive, like a flash drive.
My mom just got me one to plug into my phone.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, for my
Yeah.
phone. Yeah. I got like a 128 gig one and I'm like, okay, let me see. But that is so much self-discipline to move the files back and forth
So
and
for
to not lose that little thing.
so I have it like quite literally. I'm gonna show you because I'm like that dork. I have like my work bag with me and I have it clipped to like the safety strap in
Nice.
my work bag so that if I need it, it's there. But honestly, I back up most of my footage just like through the Google Photos app on my
Mhm.
phone. And then
Same.
I just go from there. Which
Yeah.
is really not efficient. But I do not back photos up to the iCloud. I only back everything else
Yeah.
to iCloud,
Same.
photos to Google.
Exactly. Yep. Same. Do the same thing because content creating is so fun. Like I enjoy it thoroughly. The storage is like the death of me.
Goodness. And it's not even just like so I use an app, and maybe you know of it also, called Lens Buddy, that takes photos
Lens.
and videos simultaneously, and you can set it to do like, I want you to take 25 photos and stop, or you can say, I don't want you to stop you until I stop you. So that is great for like
Mhm.
when I do a lot of outfit content
Mhm.
or like my makeup and hair tutorials, because I can like
Mhm.
record on this app that is like not taking up all the storage on my phone,
Mhm.
get photos and videos out of it. But then like thank God I got a new phone and I have the storage to do it, because it's just like you're saying, it's like the shuffling from one thing to the next to get everything cohesive. And like
Mhm.
now I've got, so like my mom helps me with content sometimes, like especially when we travel.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, she's become my like unofficial We Aim to Slay intern. I love her. She's amazing. And like we use this app called Photo Circle, which maybe you know of, so that you can like start a shared album and then like share it with people, and anybody can keep.
Oh, yes. For weddings. Yeah.
Yeah,
They use
so
it a lot for weddings.
yes, it's great for weddings. Or I found out about it through pageants, because I don't even remember what pageant it was, but someone was like, yeah, we can do this, and then like the whole age division can be uploading our behind the
Mhm.
scenes at rehearsal photos, and we all have them.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh yeah, that's amazing. Why haven't we had this forever?
Yeah. I guess when the need comes, it comes, and then that's when we get it.
Yeah. I remember like we're the same age, so like back in like high school when Instagram came out, it was so that you could like edit your photos. It wasn't even like as much as sharing.
Yeah.
It was
Or
like
to take a photo because of the
the
filters.
filters. It was all about the filters. And it
It
was
was
just
all about the
because
filters.
you just want, God, which was
And
your,
then Snapchat had the filters too. And then you're like, okay. For a while, I was like trying to tell my friends this was so silly because like Snapchat never died. But I was just like, why do I have to have Snapchat if I have you guys on Instagram? Like,
oh, because Snapchat's where it's at. I don't even actually use Snapchat for like anything practical. And I have like people I talk to on Snapchat, but it's like I take Snapchats for me to remember what is going on in a moment when I just needed to be my most unleashed and unhinged self.
authentic self.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
I take the video, and when it comes up in my Snapchat memories next year, I'm gonna laugh and be like, "Oh, remember
Mhm.
when you thought that was the worst thing that you ever thought could happen,
Yeah.
and then nothing bad happened. You're fine."
Yeah. It's crazy how a platform can make you feel that, you
Hmm.
know? I find that amazing. Like that is I love like studying like human behaviors and stuff, but like that's something I have not researched or delved into. I'm like, what makes this platform want to make you go on that platform and not the other platform for that specific feeling?
For me, like Snapchat, it's like purely selfish. It's because I enjoy making silly videos for myself just to like
Mm.
commemorate a something. Whether it's like reading something crazy in a book, or like, and sometimes I'll send them to my sisters and just be like, someone needed to know that this happened. And I don't
Yeah.
care if you ever watch the video or not. I made it for myself.
Yeah.
I saved it for myself.
Right.
But at least I'm not crazy if I reference this in public. At least you guys know what I'm talking about.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or at least you'll know what you're talking about when you see it pop up a year later.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Wait, so what kind of content do you create?
Let's see. I think it started off with the pageants at like when I did Miss Earth and Miss USA. That's when it started. But then after that, I started helping other like beauty salons or like one of my coaches, he hooked me up with like this lady that did pottery and just kind of slowly helping like local businesses with their content. And when I moved to Houston last summer, I was like, okay, this place, where did we go? We went to Alpha Land and for a chiropractor that I wanted to see. And when we went into that building, we're like, oh my God, like this is literally a gym that you pay like $800 a month for all the content creator athletes to like
Okay.
create content. I'm like, okay, Houston definitely has a market. And I was modeling for one of these like restaurant groups, and I was talking to the guys who were taking the shots, and then from there they were like, we're looking for a social media manager. And I'm like, oh, okay, I have like this little bit of experience, like, from the pageant world and then like the few businesses I helped back in Greenville. And then they took me along their restaurant journey of all these restaurants that they were creating content for. So those were really fun because for that, I was more of like their ghostwriter, scheduler, like
Mm.
making sure everything goes out in the correct order at the correct times. So that was me learning more theory.
Yeah.
And then then they started adding salons. So eventually, like they were hitting salons, and then the group broke apart when there were like decisions related to like, okay, plastic surgeons. How do we feel about plastic surgeons?
Mm.
And I think that's when the group kind of fell apart because that started being content that we were like, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know if we want to do this.
Yeah, for sure.
And after that, I was like kind of alone again as an individual. So I've been doing it for my husband who plays sitar, and then some DJ groups. So yeah, that's been my little content journey. But most of all, I think I like creating it for myself. Like, you know,
Yep.
like it's nice when you can have a business out of it, but also it's just something I genuinely enjoyed, and to keep myself up to date with all the effects, the groups, the trends, like you
Mhm.
kind of have to do it for yourself to do it for others. So,
Yeah, for sure. I love that
yeah.
you brought up the idea that that you guys weren't sure how you wanted to handle plastic surgery, and that I feel like that circles back around perfectly to the idea of like standing by who you are, your morals, your values, and like being comfortable because okay, so in the last year, again, I've like been a super grateful. I always like to start with that because I've had amazing opportunities in the last year. But earlier in the year, I was invited to come cover a couple of fashion shows, and I did. They were awesome, great experience. I met a photographer. I met many photographers because I was there as press for a change rather than modeling, which was interesting. Um,
Hmm.
and a bunch of them reached out to me. This is something that I ended up having to. I asked my mentor, who was my first ever boss from when I graduated college, when I worked at a newspaper as a reporter. I was like, you're also a photographer. You were at these shows. You know some of these people. I'm going to trust your judgment. When a photographer reaches out to someone as a model and they just say, like, I want to shoot you as a model, and that is as far
Hmm.
as they've got with their creative,
Hmm.
like, is that a red flag? That feels like a red flag. And he was like, in some instances, some people are just like not creative, nor do they communicate well. And you've got to kind of feel out the situation because you're right.
Hmm.
In situations, it is a red flag. They just want to like take pictures and do whatever they want with those pictures, and you have no control over them. And that's
Yeah.
weird. And I just recently did, like in the last couple months, I did a photo shoot with a photographer from the show who I sussed out the situation. It didn't feel weird. Shooting also didn't feel weird. It did feel directionless though. Like there was no vision.
Mhm.
Like I understood what
Yeah.
the goal was, but there was no vision. And so now we're getting the photos back, and I don't I don't like them. And like I don't like the ones of
That's
me
that's
because
valid.
super particular about photos of myself
Mhm.
because my image is my brand, and so I have to be kind of discerning about that. But I
Mhm.
don't even like the pictures of the other people in this set, and it's like
Ah.
there is some it all just feels very uncohesive. There is one cohesive through line, and it's like a prop. So it's in every photo. So yes, I can
Mhm.
see that this one item is the through line, but nothing else about each photograph has like a continuous, it doesn't feel like a series.
Mhm.
It's like yeah, like I probably, when I felt like this was weird, I probably should have just, like you said earlier, followed my gut and just trusted myself, like, this is weird.
Yeah.
And it's not bad. Like, I never felt uncomfortable. I never felt unsafe.
Mhm.
It's just like, I just, I just wish I hadn't agreed to it. That's not something I needed
Yeah.
to do.
Right.
I
It
had,
was your time. It was your time that kind of felt wasted.
yeah, kind of, basically. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I've definitely felt that in multiple, yeah, modeling shoots where I'm like, what was the point of that? Because
yeah,
I think one of the biggest things that a model brings to anywhere is their energy. And it's not, you can't count energy in hours. Like
exactly.
not for a job, not for anything. The energy you bring is like it's not measurable, but you can feel it.
Yes.
So when someone brings that energy into a shoot and you kill it, it is so demotivating.
Yeah. And exactly what you're saying, like no one can put a value on the energy. And what I think a lot of people don't realize that the model's energy starts when they book the job and they're told what the vision is, because
Hmm.
that's when you start getting the character together. So
Yes.
that you have
Yeah.
the correct vibe and you're making the right faces and you're portraying the
Mhm.
right energy so that when
Yes.
someone looks at the photograph, they understand this is the story being told.
Hmm.
Image. And it's not just like, not that there's anything wrong with catalog modeling, but like a catalog image is not the same as an editorial image.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyone
Like
can take a
the
catalog image.
cover of Vogue is all energy.
Yes,
Like you see the cover of Vogue and you're like, I want to buy that.
yes. Right now, it's not an American Vogue, but yes.
Yes, yes, right. Exactly. Yes. Right now it is not American. Yes.
Actually, did you see the November covers?
The November. Uh-uh. I
So
have not.
there's three of them. One of them is Nicole Kidman, and I just feel like it's like an image that's unfinished.
Hmm.
There's like a colored backdrop, but it's not the whole backdrop. It's just like a section.
My ADD wants to go look this up right now so I could see
Girl,
what you're
go for
saying.
it. I can cut this out if we need to.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then I always screw up how to pronounce that actress's name, but it's Io Adebari,
I have
I
debris.
believe is how you say her last name. Her cover is beautiful. It's just like a close up of her face and it's just like elegant. I like it. The best cover of the set is Greta Lee. She's got this like
Mm.
constructed military look and she's like
Mhm.
on the beach.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying about the Nicole Kidman one.
There's like nothing wrong with it. It just looks unfinished. It looks like a behind the scenes photo, in my opinion.
I feel like it doesn't seem Vogue cover worthy photo.
No, that seems like one that you
It's
would put
like there's no energy
inside.
being released. I feel like her, yeah, yeah, okay.
Like
I
a
see it. It's the
BTS
brown dress one,
photo.
right?
Yeah, that's like a
Yeah,
BTS
okay.
photo you put on your Instagram, not on the cover of Vogue.
Exactly. Yes. No, I definitely feel that. Okay. And then Io debris. Uh,
And she's either wearing green or the background is green.
hmm.
And that one I think is just a beautiful like beauty shot. It's just pretty. Again, it's kind of dull.
Yeah.
The early
It's
2000s
still
feels.
it's definitely giving me a little more feelings and emotion than the Nicole Kidman one.
Yeah,
And it is beautiful. Like it's she looks beautiful.
she looks stunning. Okay, now look up Greta Lee because this is
Okay.
the winner. And I actually posted about this as soon as I got the email that these covers were out. I was like,
Hmm.
Greta's cover won.
Oh, I love that. That's giving strong. Like, and then the background with it being the sea, and she's just giving like total general vibes.
Yeah. And
Like,
it's just like that
yes.
gorgeous.
I think that feels Vogue worthy because that is like almost like a new theme, like
It's a
something that
quiet
hasn't been done
strength,
before.
quiet strength.
Hmm. Kind of like the sea, like a quiet sea that's behind
Yes.
it. This one is very like whole.
Yes, she does not need to demand your attention because she's already captured our attention.
I love these too. I love the movement. This isn't the cover, but I love the movement in that
Oh yeah,
photo.
her photos are exquisite, and it's not just like yeah, all three of these women are beautiful,
Hmm.
but yeah, there's a life to Greta's photos that is
Yeah.
not there in the other two.
Yeah. Because a picture's supposed to paint 1,000 words. The other ones didn't paint those 1,000 words for me.
No.
It's kind of like, here I am. Do
And
what you want with it.
since in 2020 when they were like having people take like iPhone photos and like text them to the
Mm.
magazine and those were the covers.
Mm.
Now, like we can, yeah, of course. I'm not expecting like a multi-billion dollar photo shoot for the cover. That would be irresponsible in this state.
Hmm.
But we could do a little bit more.
Yeah, especially with the name that's that big.
Yeah. Like you
And
already like you have the brand visibility. So do
yes,
something with it.
yeah. Otherwise, you're killing your brand. Like that's the easiest way I think for a magazine to kill its brand is because that's the first thing people see.
Hmm.
So if over time they're like, nah, we're not gonna look at Vogue, like I get it. It's not about how many people are buying the magazines anymore in this like generation, but like it's
But the
you're losing
effort
your crowd, you're losing your audience.
I studied journalism in school and I
Oh, okay.
was this is sad and I don't mean to bring it to a morbid place. I was in school when the Boston bombing happened.
Oh.
I did not go to school in Massachusetts. I went to school in New York, so I wasn't like in danger. But when that Rolling Stones cover came out with the
Hmm.
younger brother from that incident on
Hmm.
the whole country was in an uproar because that's irresponsible. How dare you glorify? Da, da, da. But people who had
Hmm.
never picked up a Rolling Stones magazine ever were talking about that. This was more
Yes.
than 10 years ago, and I'm still thinking about that cover. That cover may be my Roman Empire. I think about it all the time because like,
Wow.
as
That's
a
a big statement.
journalism major, I'm just like, on the one hand, yeah, that's crazy sensationalism. But on the
Hmm.
other hand, like sex sells. And that photo, they pulled it off that kid's MySpace or something. Like it is
Wow.
like a old school early 2000s selfie that they just like put a sepia filter over and threw it on
Hmm.
the cover of the magazine. And like unfortunately, if that kid was a musician based only on that cover, that's a band I'd listen to.
Mm. Because sex sells.
Sex sells. And for a magazine like Rolling Stones, that's like the number one. Or did you pull up the cover?
I did.
It's like weirdly a great photograph.
It's a selfie. Like
I mean, like, yeah, it's not a magazine
see, here's
cover.
the other thing. Going back to I am, we take selfies and post the ones we like because we think they're good because I am looking good.
That is
And then we post it.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's why, like, just to bring everything back around, that photo shoot that I just did, there's nothing inherently wrong with the photographs. I
Yeah.
I just wouldn't post them. I don't like them. I don't think I look my best. That's not an
Mm.
angle I would shoot myself from. It's not a lighting I would shoot myself with. It's not how I would use a backdrop. But then again, when I spend a good deal of my time making my own content, like I've gotten very specific in what I want and what I expect my images to look like in the end. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like,
Yeah.
and I get like when I'm booked for a job, it's not about me. But I also
Yeah.
know that when I'm booked for a job, like I'm getting something usable back because they
Yeah.
pay me for something. So I want to do a good job and you
Mhm.
want me to promote it because then more people are interested in your product to begin with. And there's that symbiotic sort of like we're going to create
Benefit.
a great working environment so that our
Mhm.
community succeeds, bring it back around,
Mhm.
you know, and that we all feel like we want to do this again or like we had a good
Yeah.
work together.
Yeah. The idea that you want to do it again, I
Huh.
think, is the takeaway. Like if you're booking a gig or you're booking, a shoot, whatever it is, if you guys want to do it again, is where magic happens.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Because, and I'm sure you've definitely experienced it in all of the career paths you've had, and myself included. All it takes is one person to ruin the environment, and then you never want to do it again, and you want nothing to do with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you get that one creepy photographer,
That one
it
photographer that's
ruins you.
creepy, or like that one mean girl who can't keep her snide remarks to herself, or like that
Yeah.
one person that looks down on you because of your age or something stupid and arbitrary.
Yeah. For me, it's height. It's usually my height.
For me, it's age because I work in a high school and frequently people think I'm one of the students.
Oh, wow.
Like a good thing because I look
And
young.
like the level of respect they give you is based on that pre-notion,
Yeah.
right?
Like my
Yeah.
first, I'll never forget this. So this is my fourth school year, but during my first school year, in like the first 2 weeks, the principal tried to give me a detention because he thought I was skipping the sophomore assembly. And I was like, dude,
I
literally,
am I
you
am
hired
your
you
yeah.
hired me 2 weeks ago. I don't have an ID card yet, so I can't prove that to you, but you did hire me like 2 weeks ago. Can go
I
get
wonder how the
my.
principal felt after that.
He was like, "Oh my God, I thought you were a student." I was like, "Yeah, I got that
Did
part."
they apologize?
He did, of course. And I've now gotten to the point where I make a joke out of it when people assume my age, and it's always
Mhm.
wrong. I just say that means my eye.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely get that. Like even throughout this pregnancy, people like definitely gave me looks that I'm like as if I was like not
Not
nothing right or wrong here, but like a pregnant teen. Definitely, I got stares like that. So,
I definitely, yeah, I definitely get, it's weird, isn't it? Like, I was just away for the weekend. We were camping. We were all like sort of hanging out around the bonfire. And someone legitimately stopped us and said, "Isn't she 18?" And I said, "What?" They were like, "Yeah, aren't you 18?" I was like, "Do you see these bags? Do you see these lines?" No, I'm not 18. I am not. I wish.
funny.
God, I wish I had the energy of being 18 again.
Hmm. Yeah, usually without makeup is when people think I'm 18.
Yes, and I
It's
didn't have
awful.
camping. I wasn't gonna wear makeup, but it's
They
like
either think I'm sick or I'm 18.
that's the worst when people are like, "Oh, are you not feeling well?" It's like I didn't have enough time this morning, and it was getting to work was more important than painting my face.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I know one thing with like going back to like the self-care aspects of things is the idea of like once you are done doing a pageant week is over. The first two times that I walked the stage, I was afraid to walk without my makeup on.
Mm,
And I had to get over that. That was insane. Like, and I'm like, and it was eating me alive because it would be like 1 to 2 hours spent on makeup every single day, making sure it's perfect. And then now where I have like my 15-minute routine, but that's a big transitional, like
yeah.
transitory like place in your life if you are doing pageants to just being a citizen of the world. Because when you're doing pageants, you're a celebrity. And then when you're not doing pageants without your crown, you are every day to day. And I'm just like, wow, like the crown is a uniform, like essentially.
And honestly, I feel like I have that situation even just like with the content creating that I do. So like 2 weeks ago, I think I was invited to model on the news for a Fashion Week segment, which was like so
Mm.
cool. And like I cashed in a PTO day and I took my time doing my hair, doing my makeup, and I felt so special. And people saw it, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And then I went back to work the next day at a high school
Hmm.
where a bunch of teenagers don't care about what I am or whether I'm there or not, and it's like
Yeah.
that like juxtaposition of exactly what you're saying. You're a celebrity, you're
Hmm.
people automatically perk up and listen and care. And
Yeah.
go back to like the day to day and be woo, it can be crazy. And it's not
Yeah.
like a I feed off of or love that like energy, attention, or it's just like I feel like it stems back to that idea of like feeling like you matter or like feeling
Hmm.
you are seen in the
Yeah.
environment. And it's
And that
crazy.
your words are heard differently.
Yeah, and it's crazy to go from like you're saying that one where you're the one on the pedestal in the center of the crown because you've got that crown on your head to then
Hmm.
the next day when you're back at your day job and you're like, I'm lucky if I can get 2 minutes to myself to even run to the bathroom. Like
Hmm. Yeah.
it's crazy. And having like that sort of, like you were saying before, having those people that can support you when you're dealing with the very shocking juxtaposition of those two states of being.
Hmm.
And one
Yeah.
I feel like is very unique to pageants and other sort of performative things in that nature because and I would exclude athletics from that because you can be a jock 24/7 and that's who you are,
Hmm.
but I cannot pageant out 24/7. Like I just can't.
Yeah.
Physically I cannot. And financially I
Yeah.
definitely can't. Like
That energy level is way,
it's up
it
there.
comes at a cost. It comes at a cost.
Yeah, it does. And like I'm one of those people. I go head to toe, hair and makeup in an outfit accessorized for from the
Hmm.
moment I walk in till the moment I leave. Every
Yeah.
rehearsal.
And nobody is paying you for it either. You're doing it because that's you, your brand for yourself, essentially.
Yeah,
Like, but also when
uh,
you're there, they invited you because they know you're that brand.
yeah,
So
exactly.
to
And
live
so
up to that expectation is a lot.
yeah, like back in 2022, I won Ms. American Co-ed. And I
Mhm.
kid you not, for 3.5 weeks after that pageant, my toes were numb. Could
Mm.
not feel my toes because I refused to at any point present as if I was not already the winner during competition.
Mhm.
And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but that does play a part into why I walked away as the winner.
Mm.
It's like,
That's something I had no idea about. Like when I did the National Miss Earth,
mhm.
girls actually walked in there thinking I'm already the winner. Meanwhile, my mindset was just like, it was like literally my first national pageant, and I'm just like, I feel so lucky to even be here.
And we all start out there. Like I've been competing since I was 11
Oh,
years old. Like it took
it's
let's see.
11.
Yeah, I started when I was 11 and I
Wow.
had to convince my mom to get permission to do it. She was like, only bimbos do that. And I was like, no, mom, let me tell you, I'm not a bimbo and I'm gonna do it.
Beyonce was always a pageant queen.
My mom is like not girly at all. She grew up a tomboy riding horses. And so she was
Mm.
from the outside looking in, like, and you know, when we grew up, it was John Benet Ramsey. That was like the pageant thing everybody was talking about. So my mom was like, no. But my grandmother, thank God, she superseded and was like, nope, a girly activity? Someone finally? I'm in. And then, yeah, my mom and my sister
See,
started competing.
needed one person to say yes.
That's all you need sometimes. It's just,
Yes.
see, that was a moment where I needed the external validation, but
Hmm.
afterwards, and then, but then, you know, even I was 11, like I didn't know what I was signing myself up for. And like you were saying,
Hmm.
like I was just excited to be there. I grew up on a
Yeah.
horse farm. I was like, this is
Yeah.
cool. I can wear makeup and heels and it's
I
okay.
was,
Weird.
yeah.
Like I
And
love it.
all these girls are dressed up like this. I've
Mhm.
been waiting to find people that love to play dress up at like late 20s. Like,
Yes, exactly. And that is what it's that community, that camaraderie. That's the thing about
hmm.
pageants that I love. And unfortunately, I feel like with all the controversy that's been going on in the industry right now, like that's what we're losing.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. With all the political changes, the leadership changes, and yeah,
They're making a battleground out of something that doesn't need to be.
yeah.
I
But I think that's the
appreciate
thing with everything, though. Everything. It's like avocados.
this. I mean, so on the one,
Couldn't just let them grow. We had to monetize.
right? I mean, like I appreciate them bringing a lot of these issues forward because like obviously like the two title holders that stepped down with like a month or two left in their reign, something was happening. And I'm glad that they were able to get themselves out and that more people are bringing a light onto like how unfairly treated people are in the industry. That's important.
Hmm.
But like, right, so like in the last like month, they've now announced and re-announced and then re-announced again that there's a new director of USA like three or four
Hmm.
times. And it's like, when
No,
is
we're
the
very
pageant
excited. The
happening?
Miss
Like,
Earthies are very excited for that.
I'm just like, how are you planning to prepare this woman to go to Universe when she's gonna go from being crowned to the airport? Like, that's, come on. There's a reason why USA is always in June. So that when Universe happens, somewhere between October and December, they had all that time to prep. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know. There's aspects of it, like, and it doesn't matter how prepared you are. There are certain aspects that you can't prep for if you're not prepared for them. Like if you've only been a local or a regional or a state title holder, you can't prep
Hmm.
for an international competition. You don't know what to expect. Not without,
Well, she's done international competition, so as
well,
the director, so
yeah, but not
I
necessarily
think
who
it's
the winner is. Like whoever the winner is, like she's not going to
true.
have a lot of prep time in between USA and Universe. So yeah, the
Mm.
directors, it's on them to get her ready, but it's also like when you've only got so much time to get ready,
Mm.
how ready can you get? I just worry for whoever the winner is. I just worry because USA generally does very well at Universe. We generally have very strong contenders.
Mhm.
Not that we always have to have the winner, but we do really well. And I think a lot
Yeah.
with them being able to have time to prep for it. And I just feel bad for like the people in the last few years who have been like their years have been overshadowed because of all the other nonsense that's been going on.
Yeah. No, I do agree with that. But also, I think this might just be that learning year.
True. 100%.
And that's also okay because when you get a new director, you're getting, again, new energy, new visions, new knowledge,
Yeah.
stuff that they haven't tried before. They got to try this time because when else are they going to try it?
And I'm excited to see like what comes of all that newness. I think it'll be good.
Mhm.
I just like my own little like anxious like self. I'm just gonna worry quietly like for whoever the winner is, no matter who it is. Like,
Yeah.
but you're right.
Yeah.
It's a new opportunity. I got to change my
I
mind.
think go ahead, sorry.
I was just saying, you're right. Like, I should change my mindset. Like, don't think about the glass half empty perspective of this poor girl's not gonna have any time to prep, and think about it from like,
Hmm.
but at least now they've got directors that are gonna look out for
Hmm. Yeah, which is huge. You want,
this.
like, I think for Miss Earth, like just having my state director was the biggest. Like I call her my pageant mom now and always. Like, um, but it's crazy how every pageant girly knows the feeling of like the preparation and the time, and we can all connect because we know that feeling.
Oh yeah.
And the same, like you can be talking about how is she going to get prepared between a USA and international to universe, and the anxiety, like we could all feel it and we could feel our heart palpitating because the minute you describe that feeling we could relate to it because we've been like
Yeah. I got anxious just thinking, and I get anxious thinking about it
yeah.
every time because that, like, that is where my pageant prep starts is like building out the schedule and being like,
Mhm.
these things have to happen at this time. And unfortunately, Samia and I got cut off. We were not able to finish that conversation, but for a little change of pace, I'm going to turn it over to you, audience. If you'd like to hear more of our conversation, let me know, and I'll see if I can get Samia on for another round of self-care series as like a little bonus episode for this year. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you've watched long enough to get to this point, you're a real fan, and I appreciate you. And if you want to catch any of the other self-care series episodes, just head over to the We Aim to Slay YouTube channel, and you'll find everything. Everything that I talked about in the beginning is going to be linked here, so if you skipped through all of that, just check the description. Have a good night, you guys.